Hello, Ron. Thank you for meeting with me today and doing this interview. Your story is very interesting, a quite deep one, in some cases disheartening. Today you're going to share with us your story on child support and incarceration. So it's a two-part thing intermingled together. How did all of this begin?
It began on January 2006. Got my divorce finalized. Got put on child support. Had one kid at the time. Lost everything in my marriage. House, cars, clothes. Couldn't take nothing out the house besides basically my clothes. That's it. Lost a lot of military memories, pictures, things of that sort. Got to put on child support, paying $1,500 a month for one kid. No visitation rights. I was only making $13, $14 an hour, so that was $1,500 was half of my check already. That was in January. February, ended up losing my job. Ended up catching a speeding ticket. I was taking it to court. Ended up getting a speeding ticket in a traffic jam. So I was taking it to court. Well, my court date never came in the mail. It went to my ex-wife's house instead of my new address. She never told me. License got suspended. My job considered me having a CDL license. Of course, I lost my job once my license got suspended. That was in February. March of 2006, had the choice to pay my car note insurance. Thinking, okay, I'm a military vet, I can find a job real quick. I pay my car note, insurance elapsed, car gets stolen. Next month, eviction notice. Didn't have a job, didn't have a car, basically got kicked out. Next month, grandmother passed. Next month, robbed Walmart for $500,000.
Okay, so going back to the child support, and I'm going to address this issue with Walmart. Why did they assign you $1,500 for one child? Do you know?
Nope.
Based on what?
Nope. It's
And what county was this in?
Wayne County.
Wayne County, okay. So Wayne County stuck it to your heart. Now, flashing forward to the whole Walmart incident, tell us what made you rob Walmart?
Basically, I lost everything. My personal reasons for doing it was, for one, I didn't hurt nobody. I walked in, walked out. Took everything they made for that day. My family, their house was going up for foreclosure. They got kids and stuff like that. Plus, I was messed up. I was homeless. I was staying place to place, just doing messed up things just to try and survive. Lost my son, lost my job. A big part of it was to fight for my son, to get the best lawyer I could with that money, to get some type of visitation rights.
So the mother wasn't allowing you to see your child?
Correct.
Despite the fact that you're already on child support, you're already going through a hard time, you were given the burden of not being able to see your child on top of all this chaos that's going on.
Correct. Got caught 3 days later, did 45 days in the county, then I got out. They gave me a larceny charge, which carries a maximum of 10 or 20 or something like that. So I got off with a slap on the wrist, basically. It was three of us, so my co-defendants and me, had to pay back $84,000. The cops kept $100,000. They found out I had family in Battle Creek, so they went to Battle Creek and took all the money, and they kept $100,000. When I was going to court to try and fight and tell them, the police, they kept a lot of money. But basically, the judge was like, either I'm gonna let you out, or do you want to try and fight for this? I'm about to basically let you out of jail. So I didn't fight for it. After all that, I had to make a decision whether to stay in Detroit or move to Battle Creek. If I stayed in Detroit, I was going to get in some more bull. So I moved to Battle Creek to try and change my life around. Got put on 5 years probation. Had to pay $23,000 or $27,000, something like that, which was like $500 a month restitution on top of $1,500 a month child support. Kept going back and forth with child support, trying to get it lowered. The first couple times, they said it was my fault. I got fired from my job. And basically, they're going to leave child support at where it's at. I kept getting jobs, finding little jobs. I was a server, whatever I had to do to try and, eat, try and survive. Every time I would get a job, 6 months down the road, I would go to jail for either non-payment or restitution or a probation violation. Either a child support warrant or a probation violation. That went on for 5 years, back and forth to jail every 6 months. Broke me down a lot. County time to me is, I ain't never been in prison, but from what I hear, county time is way harder than prison time because you locked in a smaller room and stuff like that. So that went on for 5 years, back and forth to jail, finding different jobs, but have to go back to jail because I got a warrant. Well, in the midst of all that, still trying to fight for my son, trying to get visitation rights, still trying to get them to lower my child support, still no visitation rights. They ended up lowering my child support a little bit. By this time, I ended up having my second son. That situation didn't really pan out either. So I got put on child support for that too. And the mess is still trying to survive, still trying to find a place to live. They take up to 65% of your check. You can't really do nothing with it. You can't get a 1-bedroom apartment. You just can't afford it. So you left to either hustle in the streets and risk going to jail or fight your way through it.
So is it safe to say that the whole time they're telling you it's your fault, you need to get your life together, you try to get your life together, but they make it hard to force you to still be in the same mess? So it's like a revolving door.
Yes.
Once you're in that system, they're trying to keep you in the system. And the whole time they're telling you it's your fault.
Clearly. Yeah. Most of the people that go back is because you'll get a job paying you $12, $13 an hour. Child support won't have. You can't survive off of that. You can't but get a 1-bedroom apartment. Then if you can afford the 1-bedroom apartment, you can't afford food. You can't afford no car, no nothing. You left to hustle out on the streets. Most people, they not about to work for free. Any man, they not about to work for free. They're not about to go to work to bring home $100. That's what I was bringing in. I was working a job. I bring home $100. So I ended up getting 2 jobs to see if that would balance out. So I went from working 40 hours to 80 hours a week, 16, 17-hour days. And they start taking 65% out of that check too. At the end of the week, I'm still only bringing in maybe $200 a week, times 4. That ain't even rent. I ended up just sticking it through because I knew if I got back out on the streets, I wasn't gonna turn back around. Once I started getting that money and getting on my feet and stuff, I wasn't gonna want to stop and go back to a regular job where I ain't gonna get nothing. But I ended up sticking it through. Things turned around for me. Got a better job. Child support still kicking me, but I'm able to survive for a little bit because I got a better job that's paying more. It's frustrating because I haven't seen my son in 10 years. He's 13. I haven't seen my son since he was 3. She wanted me to give up my rights, but I refused to.
Why is it she wants you to give up your rights? What is the reasoning behind this? Other than possibly, and I don't know her, but I'm just saying being bitter.
Bitter, vindictive. She remarried, so she probably wanted her husband to be his father. We had got into it before, me, her, and her husband. Her husband got on the phone and was like, yeah, Jordan don't love you, he love me.
So he's part of the pettiness too.
Yeah.
Even though we feel like adults should know better, they should think outside of the box, common sense isn't always common. Have you ever tried to, not blaming you at all, I'm just asking, just for filming purposes, have you ever tried to get him alone and tell him your side of the story?
Nah, he on her side, which is only right. I mean, that's his wife, so, he's supposed to be there, I guess. I don't know.
Until it happens to him.
Until it happens to him. Right.
Unfortunately, life is like that sometimes. You've got people that take up for wrong, and you've got people who won't stand up for right. It never works out how it should, and that's very unfortunate because now we're left with a child that believes that the father didn't love him, his real father didn't love him, didn't care enough to fight for him, when that is very far from the truth. Mm-hmm. And you're in the background doing everything you can. And women do have a lot of power. And unfortunately, I see a trend as of lately in the last few years, women aren't utilizing their power in the right way, in a productive way. And that's not for all women. I'm just stating this is what I see a lot in the forefront because we got to remember that a lot of negativity is what's put in front of us versus what positive is going on.
Right.
So it's the responsibility of both parents in the child's life to do the right thing. It can't be the burden of one because it's still going to be friction there, it's still going to be a lot of resistance.
I mean, my biggest thing is we both made a child. Why do it feel like I'm doing 90% and they doing 10%? If things were switched around, if the man got the child instead of the woman getting the child, man, child support wouldn't exist. Women would have been blew that place up.
Make sure you choose Rocky Road Productions LLC Porch Talk to feed your entertainment needs. And you can do that by following us on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you like this video and share it with all your family and friends. Tag somebody in it, why don't you? And don't forget to comment down below and let us know how you feel. And before you leave, make sure you subscribe. That's right. You'll catch us every week. Looking forward to see you again next time. Bye.